Hello.
Hi, Gabrielle. I'm Liza. I'm a nursing student. How are you doing?
Liza, I'm good.
Yeah? Is this your baby?
This is my cute little baby Muffin.
Oh.
We don't have a name for him yet.
He's so sweet. Well, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Great.
Thanks.
Great.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. A little tired.
Great. Well, I am here to talk to you today to tell you a little bit about birth control and postpartum.
Okay, great.
And I have this pamphlet for you. I'm going to go over some things with you that's in it. But then, because it is a lot of information, and I know that you're getting a lot of other information for postpartum before you leave the hospital, it's something that you can take home with you. And on the back, there's also other sites that you can refer to if you have follow-up questions.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go through and kind of tell you some of the main points. And if you have any questions, just ask me.
Okay, great.
Okay. So you should know that there should not be anything in the vagina from 4 to 6 weeks after from today, so postpartum, since your delivery. And it will take about 7 to 9 weeks for you to resume your period, so to have your first menstrual period.
Okay.
It is different for every woman. And
so then the bleeding I have now is not a period.
Good question. So no, the bleeding that you have now is called lochia, and it's different, and that should subside over the next couple days or weeks.
Okay.
And then you should have a period where you're not really experiencing any blood or very minimal, and then you will know when you have your first period.
Okay.
And it's different for every woman. Sometimes it could be 12 weeks that you don't have it, and depending on how much you're breastfeeding, you could even get your menstrual period much later. But one thing that's very important to know is that egg production may return before your first menstrual period, which means pregnancy can occur. So that's why it's really important to consider birth control options even in the postpartum period.
Wow. So what kind of options do I have in terms of birth control?
Yeah, so let me tell you a few, and I'm sure from this you're going to have a lot of questions after that.
Yeah.
So you can refer to this document, and also I'll give you some other references. First of all, let me ask you, are you going to be breastfeeding?
Yes, I will be breastfeeding.
Great. And have you started?
Mm-hmm. I have started.
How do you feel about it?
It's a little difficult. I'm still getting used to it.
Of course, definitely. Well, when you're breastfeeding, there's something called lactational amenorrhea.
Okay.
And it is dependent on how consistently you're breastfeeding, and if that's your baby's main food source. And if you're doing that very regularly, then that will work as a means of birth control.
Okay.
It can work as birth control until you stop breastfeeding, or some women it doesn't last the whole time, but it's up to 6 months.
Okay.
So if you are going to be breastfeeding very consistently and regularly for 6 months, you can use that as a means of birth control.
Wow, okay.
And then if even while you're breastfeeding and maybe it's not as consistent or you feel more comfortable being on birth control, you should be using progestin-only birth control.
Okay. So I can look into, maybe a little bit later, we could talk about types and refer to the website that you gave me. That looks really helpful.
Exactly, yeah. Because there are several different types that you can refer to, or that you would have an option for. And then even with progestin-only hormonal birth control, it is compatible with lactation, but we still suggest waiting up to 6 weeks before taking it, just so it doesn't interfere with your milk supply. Okay, great. And then after 6 weeks, you'll be more comfortable, and you kind of will have more of a schedule down, and you can be more consistent with your regular feeding. Great. And then for when you're not breastfeeding anymore, that's when you'll want to consider all the various different types of birth control. And that might be something that you were doing before you got pregnant as well.
Yeah, we tried to.
Okay, great. So there's several different things. There's the barrier method, so condoms or female condoms. Then there's also the different hormonal variations. And actually this brochure does include several different options, and then a site where you can actually look at each one and
that's great.
And kind of look at into it further.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So can I take that home?
Absolutely. This is for you to take home. And there's another section that we didn't really get into, but it's family planning, and it's stuff that you would want to, you don't necessarily need to think about this right now, but once you do consider having another baby at some point in your future, just different things that you should consider when you get into that mode. Okay. So then let me just show you on the back. There's a couple of sites here, and you can just look those up on your computer at home. Okay. And kind of look further into that and ask questions that you have.
Great. Wow. Thank you so much, Liza.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.